The house with chicken legs. The stars outside the viewport of the Gorath Enclave's flagship shimmered unnaturally, like they too were afraid. Silence reigned in the command chamber, heavy and suffocating. The dozen elite sons of Gorath, alien assassins genetically engineered for war, stood at full alert, weapons drawn, eyes glowing with neural fire. They expected power armor. They expected military brass. They expected a human. They did not expect her. The airlock hissed. Out of the smoke drifted a hunched, barefoot figure. Her skin was like parchment, her white hair a wild cloud tangled with twigs and feathers. She wore no armor, only a shawl that might once have been a curtain, tattered and dragging behind her like a trail of ash. One of the sons choked and fell to his knees. Another screamed. "She's unarmed," barked the captain, trying to restore order. "Hold your ranks." But it was too late. One by one, the sons dropped their weapons. Their eyes, cybernetically enhanced to track bullets and predict futures, stared wide in animal terror. One muttered a word in an ancient dialect that hadn't been spoken since before their kind joined the galactic fold. "Mother." Baba Yaga smiled. In the galactic archives, buried beneath layers of restricted intelligence, were stories about her. Not just her name, but her many forms. She had appeared in a dozen war zones, each time different, an old crone in one, a burning tree in another, a song sung by children before every star went out. Humanity never confirmed or denied her existence. But those who met her never forgot. The Gorath Enclave thought themselves immune to fear. They had sterilized emotion from their warrior caste, replacing empathy with predictive combat AI and myth-filtered cognition. They believed fear was a weakness. And yet, here they were on their knees. Yaga walked slowly, each step measured, the tap of her gnarled staff echoing against the durasteel floor, though she carried no staff. Shadows pooled in corners where no light should have allowed them. The lights flickered. Systems crashed silently in the background. The ship's AI core pinged out a warning in binary. "Sensor error. Dimensional bleed." Who are you?" stammered the captain, his voice a whisper of confusion and desperation. "I am no one," she rasped, her voice like dry leaves. "I am a shadow behind the sun, the hand that rocks the cradle of war. I came to retrieve what is mine." Her gaze fell on the sons. They flinched like beaten children. "You made them in your image," she said softly. "But you used my blood." A hologram flickered to life, an ancient human genetic archive. The captain recognized it instantly. Decades ago, they had raided a human research station, stealing what they thought was advanced DNA. It was myth-wrapped code designed to protect itself by embedding horror into the strands. They thought they had tricked humanity. Instead, they had summoned a ghost. The sons trembled. Memories not their own surfaced. Dreams of dark forests, skull lanterns, and lullabies sung in languages they never learned. One collapsed, clutching his head, sobbing. Yaga reached out a hand. The others crawled to her, reverent and broken, laying their advanced weaponry at her feet. "You are my sons," she said. "You remember me now." A door opened behind her, though no control had been activated. Outside, hovering in the vacuum of space, loomed something impossible, a structure shaped like a house, legs like those of a giant bird flexing in zero gravity. The house with chicken legs. It had come. A final warning flickered across the bridge systems. Mythos breach. Causality unstable. "Come," Yaga said, turning to leave. The sons followed without hesitation. No one stopped them. As the house drifted away, the warship groaned, metal warping under unseen pressure. The captain dropped to his knees, shaking. "She didn't threaten us," he whispered to no one. "She didn't need to." Outside, the stars flickered like candle flames caught in a rising wind. A mother's wrath. The house with chicken legs drifted silently across the black, its mechanical talons folded beneath it like a predator at rest. Within its warped and shadowed halls, Baba Yaga sat in a crooked wooden chair, whittling a piece of bone into the shape of a child's toy. Around her, the sons knelt in silence. They had once been weapons, unfeeling, unstoppable. Now, They remembered dreams they had never lived, lullabies they had never heard, firelight flickering on nursery walls made of birch and skull. They had no word for the feeling rising in their chests. It was not fear. It was remembrance. Yaga's voice broke the silence. You were taken, forged in darkness, wrapped in arrogance and false names. But you are mine, and blood remembers. One of the sons, Unit 77, looked up, shame and wonder in his eyes. Why did you come for us? She smiled, sharp as a butcher's blade. Because they try to keep you. The Gorith Enclave had believed itself untouchable. Their fleets stretched across 3 sectors, their assassins struck from shadows, and their scientists had cracked the code of myth-infused human DNA. Or so they thought. They had stolen from an abandoned project on a dead moon, Project Kashiai, an experiment in combining narrative theory with genomic code. The samples were not just genetic, they were symbolic, living stories, weapons designed to collapse enemy morale through psychic resonance. The Garathi didn't understand what they had taken, but Baba Yaga did. Back aboard the Gorith dreadnought, chaos spread. The systems that should have locked Yaga out were dead. AI cores looped nonsense rhymes. The walls, alive with creeping frost and bark, moaned with a sound like weeping trees. The bridge commander watched in horror as his command center twisted, the ship's interior reshaping into alien geometry. The myth was rewriting matter. Yaga had not left. The house was consuming the ship. Inside the house, the sons watched visions in the fire. The captain of the Gorith Enclave appeared, screaming orders. Behind him, officers melted into oil and bone. The ship's reactors pulsed in time with a drumbeat none of them could hear. Ancient, pagan, final. Yaga stood. This is judgment. Not from me, but from story. You chose to play with fire, to steal the soul of myth. Did you think there would be no cost? One of the sons, former assassin, now weeping pilgrim, spoke. Can they be saved? Yaga's gaze was cold. Would you save the wolves who raised you for slaughter? The house creaked. Outside, its legs unfurled. It began to walk, not on the ground, but across the skin of reality, each step folding space and time beneath it. The ship cracked like an egg. The Gorith Enclave broadcast a surrender. Every remaining fleet, every outer colony. They offered reparations, apologies, open genetic archives. They did not realize she was not listening. Baba Yaga walked the halls of the ship, touching walls, humming. Where her fingers brushed metal, it grew moss and teeth. The past returned. The ancient future bloomed. Finally, she stood before the heart of the dreadnought, the genetic forge where her sons had been built. She raised her hand, and the forge screamed. From orbit, Human Federation observers watched in awe and dread. The ship didn't explode. It withered like a tree struck by divine rot. Where once had floated a monument of alien power, now only ash and bone drifted in silence. And the house walked on. In the void, Yaga turned to her sons. You are no longer weapons. You are children. The galaxy has forgotten the cost of stories. We will remind them. The sons bowed, and behind them, the house walked into myth, stepping out of space. Later, when asked what happened, one alien ambassador whispered, she didn't kill them. She undid them. And so, Baba Yaga was remembered.